My name is Marcy Mistrett. I am the CEO at the Campaign for Youth Justice. The word prevention is in the act, and that's intentional, right? So we do not want to widen the net, and I think, again, schools were pushing kids into the criminal justice system, so it's also about, like, how do we get kids who are chronically truant or runaways from home for very legitimate reasons, how do we get them the services they provide in the where they live, basically. I mean, the core protections of JJDPA are really, really important, and we really understood that in DC. We were under a consent decree for 2 decades because, and this is why we were out of compliance, because of not following those protections and the harm that was done, right? I mean, if you are of the belief that the juvenile justice system is supposed to have a rehabilitative nature, that sacrificing your liberty is the punishment or the corrective action, that is not what was happening here. You know, harm was being done once they were detained in a secure facility, and that was not okay for anybody. There was only a black and white conversation here at the time, so the DMC piece was huge. The sight and sound separation continues to be something we want to see strengthened, and so I just think it's a really, really critical piece of legislation, because things are not equal across the country right now in terms of, despite the reforms, there are still things that are not equal, and it does. At least JJDPA reauthorization gets some guidelines, some monitoring to make sure those guidelines are being implemented, and some funding to try to get into compliance. So it's critically important in the lives of these young people.